5 seconds to go. Start. The coming financial year will be rather interesting as it might witness the fructification of several budget proposals. The most obvious one that comes to mind is the disinvestment of LIC, which was supposed to have concluded in March but now looks likely to be completed in the next financial year. But the question is, when will this be done? The course of the war is not known, and if this uncertainty has held back the IPO now, there is no guarantee that the situation will be better in April or May. In fact, as 2021-22 draws to a close, markets appear to have reverted to normalcy. In retrospect, the government could perhaps have launched the IPO. The other two major budget announcements pertain to the issuance of sovereign green bonds and a central bank digital currency. These two launches will be a joint effort between the government and the RBI. While geopolitical turbulence might make the current moment inopportune for experimentation, the government seems firm on both the proposals and they will most probably be rolled out. The sovereign green bond is a novel idea. It will be a part of the government's borrowing program. The gross borrowing program of the government is pegged at rupees 14.95 lakh crore. This money is raised by the government to finance the deficit, which involves excess expenditure on both the capital and revenue accounts. But considering that money is fungible, it is hard to figure out where the borrowed money goes. In the case of sovereign green bonds, though, an exception has to be made. The SGB sovereign green bond raised will be part of the aggregate borrowing program and has to be used for projects which are ESG, environment, social, and governance compliant. Hence, if the bond is being used to finance a power project or road, or in case it is used to finance revenue expenditure, it has to be ESG compliant. The groundwork for this should be done in advance. The pricing of these bonds will be tricky as these bonds are different from GSECs, government securities. They may have to provide a better return as all ESG compliant companies have to make special investments that will push up costs. Or will it be the case of these bonds being priced at lower rates to aid ESG implementation? Further, given the low interest rates prevailing today, real returns on deposits are negative. The SGBs can be issued as tax free bonds open to the public. This will evince a lot of interest given that these are government issued bonds. The RBI and the government have been trying to get retail investors to participate in the government's borrowing program, and this move will expedite the process. The central bank digital currency, also known as CBDC, is also an interesting concept. It seems to be an outcome of the proliferation of cryptocurrencies. This has pushed several central banks into developing their version of digital currencies. This reasoning could be misleading because cryptos are in investment option, unlike a CBDC, which is a substitute for currency. For launching such a currency, the RBI has to address certain fundamental questions. Stop.